Welcome to your personalized deep dive. Today, we're going to be exploring the work of Rhonda Byrne,
Okay.
the mind behind, the global phenomenon, The Secret.
Right.
Now, you might already be familiar with The Secret and its incredible success.
Yeah.
35 million copies sold, over 200 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list.
Wow.
It really captured the world's imagination, but
It did.
did you know Rhonda Byrne has actually written quite a bit more?
That's right.
Really?
While The Secret was her breakout hit, she didn't stop there.
Uh-huh.
She's gone on to author several other books: The Power, The Magic, Hero, How the Secret Changed My Life, and The Greatest Secret.
So it seems like she's really built this whole universe around the law of attraction.
Yeah.
Expanding on different aspects of it.
Exactly. Each book dives into a specific theme.
Okay.
The Power explores the transformative power of love and gratitude.
Uh-huh.
The Magic focuses on daily practices to attract what you desire.
Yeah.
And Hero guides you through overcoming challenges to achieve your dreams.
It sounds like there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
But before we delve into each of those, I'm curious about this core concept
Sure.
that seems to run through all of her work, the law of attraction.
Right.
It sparked so much conversation and even debate.
Mm-hmm.
Some people swear by it,
Yeah.
while others dismiss it as wishful thinking.
Right.
Where do you stand on this?
It's definitely a concept that invites a lot of different interpretations.
Okay.
Some people get caught up in the idea of effortless manifestation.
Uh-huh.
Just think positive thoughts and your desires will magically appear.
Right.
But Rhonda Byrne herself emphasizes that it's not about passivity.
Mm-hmm.
It's about aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions
Okay.
to create the reality you want.
So it's not just sitting back and wishing for things to happen.
No.
There's an element of effort involved.
Absolutely. It's about shifting from forced effort
Okay.
to inspired action.
I like that.
It's finding that sweet spot where your passions and your actions are aligned.
Yeah.
And that often takes work and commitment.
Right.
It's similar to athletes being in the zone,
Yes.
where peak performance feels almost effortless
Yeah.
because they are completely in sync with their craft.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
I can definitely relate to that feeling of flow when I'm writing.
Uh-huh.
Hours can go by and it feels like minutes.
Right.
Because I'm so engrossed in the process.
Exactly. And that's the kind of energy Byrne encourages people to tap into.
Okay.
She provides practical techniques and exercises to help people shift their mindsets
Uh-huh.
and align themselves with their desires.
One technique that really stood out to me was her approach to rewiring your mindset about money.
Okay.
She talks about visualizing bills as checks.
Yes,
And even adding zeros to them.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds pretty unconventional.
it is.
What's the thinking behind that?
Well, it's all about challenging our ingrained beliefs about money.
Okay.
For many people, money is associated with stress, scarcity, and limitation. By playfully turning bills into checks and adding zeros.
Yeah.
She encourages people to visualize abundance and shift their emotional relationship with money.
It sounds like a way to kind of trick your mind into seeing possibilities rather than limitations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating is that she even put this technique into practice in her own life.
Really?
Even when she was facing financial challenges.
Wow.
She shares a story about giving away money while in debt,
Really?
which led to an unexpected windfall shortly after.
That's a pretty bold move, especially when you're already struggling financially.
It is.
Makes you wonder about the power of our beliefs
Yeah.
and how they might influence our reality.
It definitely raises some interesting questions.
Yeah.
Could simply shifting our perspective open up new possibilities?
Right.
Could visualizing abundance actually attract it into our lives?
Mm-hmm.
It's something to think about.
It is, but I imagine it's not always easy to maintain that positive outlook,
Right.
especially when life throws curveballs our way.
Yeah.
Does Byrne address this in her work?
She does.
Does she acknowledge the challenges people face when trying to apply these principles?
Absolutely. And this is where her work takes an interesting turn,
Okay.
moving beyond just positive thinking
Uh-huh.
to a deeper exploration awareness.
So it's not about denying negative thoughts or emotions,
No.
but becoming more aware of them.
Exactly. In fact, she emphasizes that simply becoming aware of our negative thoughts is
Yeah.
a huge step toward disengaging from them
Okay.
and reducing suffering.
It's like taking a step back and observing our thoughts without judgment, rather than getting swept away by them. I can see how that could be empowering.
Right, and she provides practical ways to cultivate this awareness through mindfulness practices and other techniques. It's about creating that space between our thoughts and our reactions so we can choose how we want to respond.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It sounds like she's encouraging a more mindful approach to life.
Yeah.
Not just focusing on achieving specific outcomes, but also cultivating a deeper sense of presence and awareness.
Precisely. And this focus on awareness is actually at the heart of what she now considers the greatest secret.
Oh.
But we'll get to that a bit later in our deep dive.
Okay.
First, I want to share a little more about how she emphasizes simple, practical steps
Okay.
to incorporate these principles into daily life.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm all ears.
Okay.
What kind of practical steps does she suggest?
Well, one of the most powerful and recurring themes in her work is the importance of gratitude.
Gratitude.
She believes that cultivating a genuine sense of gratitude can be transformative.
I can see how that would make a difference.
Yeah.
Focusing on what we're grateful for can shift our perspective and help us appreciate the good things in our lives, even when things are tough.
It does.
Does she offer any specific ways to cultivate gratitude?
Yes. One simple practice she recommends is keeping a gratitude journal. Taking a few minutes each day to write down what you're grateful for. It can be anything from a beautiful sunset
Yeah.
to a kind gesture from a stranger.
I actually tried that for a while,
Did you?
and it was really eye-opening.
Yeah.
It made me realize how much I had to be thankful for, even on days when I was feeling stressed or down.
Exactly. It's a simple practice,
Yeah?
but it can have a profound impact on our mindset
Oh, yeah.
and our overall well-being.
I'm curious to hear more about how this emphasis on gratitude
Sure.
ties into her broader philosophy and her journey toward what she calls the greatest secret.
That's a great question, and it leads us to another key aspect of her work,
Okay.
the concept of self-love.
Self-love. That's another one of those buzzwords
Yeah.
that gets thrown around a lot these days.
It does.
What does she mean by self-love in the context of the law of attraction?
It goes beyond just pampering yourself or indulging in treats.
Okay.
It's about recognizing your inherent worthiness, embracing all parts of yourself, and treating yourself with kindness and compassion.
That sounds challenging for a lot of people.
It can be.
We're often our own harshest critics.
Right.
How does she suggest people cultivate self-love?
One practice she emphasizes is the power of affirmations.
Affirmations, okay.
Speaking to yourself with love and encouragement, replacing negative self-talk with positive statements about your strengths and abilities.
I've heard about affirmations before,
Yeah.
but I've always been a bit skeptical. Do they really work?
Well, like any tool, their effectiveness depends on how you use them.
Okay.
The key is to choose affirmations that resonate with you and to repeat them with conviction and feeling.
I can see how that might start to shift your mindset over time.
Yeah.
If you're constantly feeding your mind positive messages about
Yeah.
yourself,
Right.
it's bound to have an impact.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about reprogramming your subconscious mind
Okay.
and replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones.
So we've talked about shifting from effort to inspired action, rewiring our money mindset,
Yeah.
cultivating gratitude and self-love,
Yes.
and embracing awareness.
Right.
It seems like these are all interconnected pieces of a larger puzzle.
Yeah.
How do they all fit together in her overall philosophy?
That's a great observation. They're all part of a journey
Okay.
toward a deeper understanding of ourselves and our true nature.
Okay.
And this is where we finally arrive at the heart of what she considers the greatest secret.
Okay.
You ready to delve into that?
Absolutely. I'm all ears.
All right.
What is the greatest secret that Rhonda Byrne has uncovered?
Well, this is where things get really interesting.
Okay. Tell me more.
She says the greatest secret is realizing that who you truly are
Uh-huh.
is a deathless, infinite being of pure love and beauty.
Wow. That's deep. But I have to admit, it's a little abstract.
It is.
What does she mean by that in practical terms?
Yeah.
How do you connect with that part of yourself?
That's a great question, and one that she explores in depth in her book, The Greatest Secret. But before we delve into that, I think it would be helpful to take a closer look at how she arrived at this realization.
That sounds like a great place to start.
Yeah.
Let's hear more about her journey and how she came to this understanding of the greatest secret.
Okay.
So, how did Rhonda Byrne, the woman who brought us the practical steps of the law of attraction,
Right.
come to this profound realization about our true nature?
Yeah.
It seems like a significant leap.
It's an evolution, really.
Okay.
Even after achieving global success with The Secret, she encountered personal challenges, especially concerning her daughter's health.
That's a reminder that even someone who seems to have it all still faces difficult times, it humanizes her and makes her journey even more relatable.
Exactly. And rather than trying to suppress or deny those difficult emotions,
Yeah.
she learned to approach them differently.
Okay.
She discovered a new way of being with those feelings.
How so?
Yeah.
What was this different approach?
Instead of resisting negative emotions, she learned to welcome them, to allow them to simply be.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that resistance only intensifies suffering.
So rather than pushing those feelings away, she leaned into them.
Yes.
That sounds counterintuitive.
Kind of feel that way.
How does that even work?
It's about understanding that emotions, even negative ones, are temporary.
Okay.
They're like waves, they rise and fall.
Mm-hmm.
By resisting them, we get caught in the struggle.
Yeah.
But by accepting what is safe, we create space for those emotions to move through us
Right.
without taking root.
That's a powerful concept.
It is.
It's like allowing the storm to pass rather than trying to fight it.
Exactly.
Could this radical acceptance of emotions be the key to greater resilience and inner peace?
It's certainly a key theme in her later work.
Okay.
And it's through this process of welcoming all of her experience, even the difficult parts,
Right.
that she began to connect with a deeper truth about herself.
I'm curious to hear more about that.
Sure.
How does she describe this deeper truth?
This is where she introduces the concept of the ego,
Okay.
which she refers to as the troublemaker.
The troublemaker, all right.
It's that voice in our heads that's constantly telling us we're not good enough, not worthy, not lovable.
Right.
It's the source of our doubts, fears, and insecurities.
I think we all know that voice pretty well.
Yeah, I think we do.
It can be so loud and persuasive sometimes.
Yeah, it can.
So according to Byrne, the ego is the root of much of our suffering. It creates a false sense of separation between ourselves and the world,
Yes.
leading to feelings of loneliness, anxiety, and dissatisfaction.
Right.
So the ego is like a barrier between us and our true selves.
That's one way to look at it. It keeps us trapped in a cycle of wanting,
Yeah.
striving, and never feeling quite fulfilled.
That sounds familiar, but if the ego is so powerful, how do we break free from its grip?
By becoming aware of its tricks,
Okay.
the more we observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment,
Right.
the less power they have over us.
It's like seeing the puppet master behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Once we recognize the ego's game, we can choose not to play along.
Precisely. And Byrne emphasizes that true freedom doesn't come from acquiring more things or achieving more goals.
Right.
It comes from simplifying our lives and letting go of the limiting beliefs that hold us back.
Okay.
It's about recognizing that everything we truly need is already within us.
It sounds like she's encouraging a shift from external validation to internal fulfillment.
Exactly. And that brings us back to the greatest secret.
Okay.
Realizing that who we truly are is a deathless, infinite being of pure love and beauty.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that our true essence is beyond the limitations of the physical body and mind. We are not our thoughts or emotions, or even our experiences. We are something much vaster and more profound.
Okay. I'm starting to grasp the concept. But how do we actually connect with this deeper truth?
Right?
How do we tap into that infinite being she's talking about?
By cultivating awareness, she emphasizes the importance of stilling the mind through practices like meditation, mindfulness, or simply spending time in nature.
Right.
It's in these moments of stillness that we can begin to glimpse our true nature.
It sounds like she's suggesting a path of inner exploration
Yes.
rather than external achievement.
Exactly. And she believes that this journey of self-discovery is the ultimate key to happiness and fulfillment.
So it's not about manifesting specific outcomes,
No.
but about aligning with our true selves.
Precisely. And when we align with our true nature,
Yeah.
we naturally begin to attract what we need and desire.
It seems like she's coming full circle, connecting this deeper understanding of ourselves back to the principles of the law of attraction.
Right. It's like the law of attraction 2.0.
Oh, wait.
It's not just about visualizing what you want, but about becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts those things.
It's about embodying the qualities you wish to see in your life.
Exactly. And this is where the concept of self-love becomes so crucial. When we love and accept ourselves fully, we create a powerful magnetic field that attracts love, abundance, and joy into our lives.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
But it also sounds challenging.
it is.
Most of us have spent years accumulating limiting beliefs and negative self-talk. How do we start to undo all of that?
It's a process, and it takes time and commitment. but Byrne offers a variety of tools and practices
Yeah.
to help us along the way.
Okay.
One practice she emphasizes is forgiveness.
Forgiveness.
Yeah.
How does that tie into all of this?
It's about releasing resentment and anger,
Okay.
both towards ourselves and others. These negative emotions create energetic blocks that prevent us from fully embracing our true selves and attracting what we desire.
I can see how holding on to grudges and regrets would weigh us down.
Exactly. Forgiveness is like clearing out the clutter,
Okay.
creating space for love and light to flow through us.
I'm curious to hear more about how she suggests people approach forgiveness.
She emphasizes that forgiveness is not about condoning hurtful actions or forgetting the past.
Right.
It's about choosing to let go of the pain and resentment that's holding us captive.
That sounds like a powerful act of self-liberation.
It is, and it's an essential step on the journey toward realizing our true nature.
So we've talked about the ego,
Right.
the power of awareness, the importance of self-love and forgiveness,
Yeah.
and the ultimate goal of connecting with our true selves as deathless, infinite beings of pure love and beauty.
Yeah.
It's been quite a journey.
It has.
What are some of the key takeaways for our listener?
I think one of the most important takeaways is that true happiness and fulfillment don't come from external achievements or possessions. They come from within.
Okay.
It's about cultivating a deep sense of inner peace, self-love, and connection to something greater than ourselves.
And how can our listeners practically apply these concepts in their daily lives?
Well, one simple step is to start paying attention to your thoughts and emotions.
Okay.
Notice the voice of the ego and the patterns of negative self-talk.
Right.
Practice observing those thoughts without judgment and gently redirect your attention to more empowering thoughts and beliefs.
It's like retraining your mind to focus on the positive
Yeah.
rather than getting stuck in the negative.
Exactly. And remember that even small shifts in your thinking
Yeah.
can make a big difference over time.
Are there any other practical steps our listeners can take?
Absolutely. Cultivating a daily practice of gratitude
Gratitude.
can be incredibly transformative.
Okay.
It shifts our focus from what's lacking to what we already have.
Right.
And it opens our hearts to receive more blessings.
I love that. And we talked about self-love earlier.
Yes.
Are there any specific practices you would recommend for cultivating self-love?
Treating yourself with kindness and compassion is key.
Okay.
Speak to yourself with the same love and encouragement you would offer a dear friend. And remember that self-care is not selfish. It's essential.
Okay.
Take time to nurture your physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being.
I think those are all wonderful suggestions.
Yeah.
And it's a good reminder that this is a journey,
Yeah.
not a destination.
It's
It's about
right.
taking small steps each day to align with our true selves and create the life we desire.
Exactly. It's about embracing the process of growth and transformation
Okay.
and trusting that everything is unfolding as it should.
This has been such an insightful exploration of Rhonda Byrne's work.
It has.
It's clear that her message has evolved over time, moving from a focus on the practical application of the law of attraction
Yeah.
to a deeper understanding of our true nature and the power of consciousness.
It's a message that resonates with people all over the world
Yeah.
because it speaks to a universal longing for happiness, fulfillment, and connection.
And it offers hope that no matter what challenges we face,
Right.
we have the power to create a more joyful and meaningful life.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that we are all capable of great things.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty inspired right now.
Me too.
And I'm guessing our listener is too. But before we wrap up,
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear your thoughts on one more thing.
Sure.
Rhonda Byrne talks about the ego as the troublemaker. Do you think there's a flip side to that? Is there a part of us that's actually working in our favor,
Right.
guiding us towards our highest good?
That's a fantastic question, and it's one that we'll explore in depth in the final part of our deep dive.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear more.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, listeners, as we continue our exploration of Rhonda Byrne and the greatest secret. All right, we're back and ready to continue our deep dive into Rhonda Byrne's work.
Okay.
We've been talking about this idea of the ego as the troublemaker,
Right.
that voice in our heads that feeds us doubt and fear. But you posed a really interesting question before the break.
Yeah.
Is there another side to this? Is there a part of us that's actually working in our favor,
Right.
guiding us towards our highest good?
I think that's a wonderful question, and it gets to the heart of what Byrne's teacher calls the inner GPS.
The inner GPS. I love that analogy. Tell me more.
Think about it, just like A GPS guides you to your destination.
Right.
There's a part of you that knows the way to your highest good, your true purpose, your ultimate fulfillment.
So even when our ego is leading us astray, getting caught up in fear or self-doubt,
Right.
this inner GPS is still there trying to get us back on track.
Precisely. And the more we learn to tune into this inner guidance system,
Okay.
the more aligned and joyful our lives become.
That makes so much sense, but how do we actually connect with this inner GPS?
Right.
It seems like our egos can be pretty loud and insistent,
They can.
drowning out any other voices.
It's a practice, and it starts with awareness.
Okay.
Remember those moments of stillness we talked about?
Yeah.
Meditation, being in nature, simply taking a few deep breaths. These practices help us quiet the noise of the ego and create space for the whispers of our inner wisdom to emerge.
So it's about creating that space for listening,
Yes.
for tuning into those subtle signals that our inner GPS is sending us.
Exactly, and those signals might come in many forms.
Okay.
A gut feeling, an intuitive nudge, a sudden burst of inspiration.
Right.
It's about learning to trust those whispers and having the courage to follow them, even if they lead us in unexpected directions.
That's so empowering.
It is.
It suggests that we all have this incredible inner compass, this source of guidance that's always available to us,
Yeah.
even if we haven't been paying attention to it.
Absolutely. And the more we practice listening to and following our inner GPS,
Oh,
the stronger and clearer its guidance becomes.
so it's like strengthening a muscle. The more we use it, the more powerful it becomes.
That's a great way to put it. And here's the really beautiful part.
Okay.
As we align with our inner GPS, we naturally start attracting the people, resources, and opportunities that support our highest good.
It's like the universe conspiring to help us achieve our dreams, once we're clear on what those dreams truly are.
Exactly. It's about surrendering to the flow of life, trusting that we're being guided, and allowing the journey to unfold naturally.
So this inner GPS, this connection to our highest selves,
Right.
is ultimately what leads us to that state of being that Rhonda Byrne describes as a deathless, infinite being of pure love and beauty.
Precisely. It's the realization that our true essence is beyond the limitations of our ego, our fears, our doubts. It's the recognition that we are fundamentally whole, complete, and connected to something much greater than ourselves.
Wow. It's a pretty mind-blowing concept, but it also feels incredibly hopeful.
It is.
It suggests that no matter what's happening in our external world,
Yeah.
we have access to this inner source of peace, joy, and love.
Absolutely. And that's the ultimate message of Rhonda Byrne's work.
Okay.
That true happiness and fulfillment are not external achievements, but inner states of being.
And that's a message I think we can all get behind. So for our listener, I encourage you to reflect on this. What whispers is your inner GPS sending you?
That's a great question.
What steps can you take today to quiet the noise of the ego and tune into that inner guidance?
It's an invitation to embark on a journey of self-discovery, to connect with your true nature, and to create a life that's aligned with your highest purpose.
That's a beautiful way to put it. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us on this exploration of Rhonda Byrne's work.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope it's inspired you to tap into your own inner GPS and create a life that's filled with joy, meaning, and purpose. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep listening to those whispers of wisdom within you.
I love it.